Nyajong everyone, my name is David Lee, and I'll be your teacher for learning Hmong as a foreign language using the Nyiakeng Puachue script. We will be going over the Nyiakeng, which are the consonants. So let's get it started. Now the next one, number 13, the way to pronounce this consonant is Nya, Yag, Nya, Yag. So for the open syllable, this one is a nasal sound. Whenever you see the N on this PowerPoint, that is more specifically a nasal sound, right? A nasal sound that comes after the nasal sound should be a sound that comes from the tip of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, of an open mouth, right? So it'll be ya, right? Ya. So it's like a mixture of let's see, let's go back to that one, like number 9. So it'll be exactly like number 9, but with a nasal sound before it, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. But it's a softer C sound, right? Yeah. So that's why I put GYH, because that's a softer C sound. And there's really no English equivalent, so you're gonna have to just memorize how to pronounce it by listening, I guess, the audio file that I have here or watching this video. Okay, so it would be yeah for the open syllable. Yeah, yeah. Now for the closed syllable is yeah, yeah. So the nasal sound comes before, and then the sound should come from the tip of the tongue towards the roof of the mouth or closing mouth, okay? Now again, there's really no English equivalent word, so you just kind of have to memorize this sound and how to pronounce it. It'll be ya, ya, j, ya, ya, j. And that's how you pronounce the consonant ya, ya, j. Okay? So the next one is number 14, and how to pronounce this consonant is nja, njaj, nja, njaj, right? So this one, the open syllable has a nasal sound, but there's no aspirated breathy sound that comes out afterwards, okay? So sound should come from a closed teeth, like nj, like nja, nja. Right? So in the open phonetic that I put here, you have that nasal sound, and then you produce the TU sound from like the word situation, ritual, conceptual, natural, structure. So it would be nja, right? Nja. Ja, situ. Well, depending on the vowel that's added afterwards, it'll be ja, ju, ja, jai, right? J, right? Typically, that's how you'll pronounce that Hmong word. It will be with this consonant. Now, for the closed syllable, it will be judge, judge. So this is a nasal sound along with the TCH sound from closed teeth. So you'll hear this in like the word catch, right? Fetch, pitch, switch, but it'll be with a nasal sound, nch, right? And that's how you'll pronounce the phonetic word, phonetic sound for nja, judge. So let's move on to the next consonant. Consonant number 15, which is ga, gug. Ga, gug. The open syllable is pronounced ga, which sounds like it's in the back of the open mouth, but it's not really a guttural or throat sound, but it's more like a soft C sound, right? It'll be ga, right? You'll hear this in, I know it's not English, but you'll hear this in the Spanish word like que, right? So it's a very soft C or K sound. Like the word que, the Q in the word ke, or in the word like advocate, right, with the CA in advocate, advocate or decade or buccaneers, right, buccaneers. So it's a soft C or soft K sound that you'll hear for the open syllable for ga. Now for the closed syllable, you'll hear the gag, which sounds in the back of the open mouth, but it's not a throat sound, and it's still a soft C sound. So you hear this in the word like back, or sack, or pack, or check. Okay? And that's how you pronounce the closed phonetic sound for the consonant ga, gag. Now for number 16, this consonant is pronounced da, dug, da, dug. Now this one also has another sound, which if you remember earlier, I mentioned that this is also a white Hmong dialect and a green Hmong dialect. So the white Hmong dialect is da, dug, da, dug. For the green Hmong dialect, it'll be gla, glug, gla, glug. So for this sound, it sounds like just like the word duh, right, with an open mouth. But if you want to pronounce it with L sound, it'd be gla, gla, right? You'll hear this in the word like date, the letter D in date, or daring, dip, or dunk. Now, if you want to pronounce the gla, you'll hear this in the word like glare, gloat, or glee, the GL in those words. Now, for the closed syllable, it'll be dug, da, dug, or gla, glug, right? Same thing, how it's pronounced is like the word duh, but with a GH at the end. Open mouth, and you also add an L for this green Hmong dialect. So you hear this in the word like ad, or advertisement, or bad, sad, cold. And then for the closed phonetic, it'll be GL, 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 like glare, glerg, glergl, glogl, gleegl, right? So it's fairly difficult for the green Hmong dialect, but for the white Hmong dialect, it'll be just as I told you with those examples right there. And that's how you pronounce the consonant da, dug, or gla, glug. Now let's move on to the next one. Now for the next one, number 17, this consonant is pronounced nya, nyag, nya, nyag. There's no nasal sound on this one, but the sound should be produced from the tip of your tongue towards the roof of the mouth, right? So like you'll hear in the word like the nyan, like that meme nyan cat, nyan, or the word like canyon, or the word onion. So that's NY in canyon and the NI in onion. That's how you pronounce the open syllable for nya. Now for the closed syllable, it's pronounced nya, nya, nyang, right? So again, there's no nasal sound, but it should come from the tip of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, and it's an open mouth. And there's really no equivalent English word for this, so just bear with me on this. Just try to remember how it's pronounced and how it sounds. So it'll be ngag, right? Nya, nyag, nya, nyag. And that's how you pronounce that consonant. Now for number 18, it'll be nda, ndug, nda, dud. Now for number 18, it'll be pronounced nda, ndud, nda, ndud. So there's a nasal sound before the sound, the main sound, and so the main sound should come from behind the upper teeth gum where the tongue is at. So there's really no equivalent English word for this, but it's a mix of the word can and draw together really fast. Can draw, right? Can draw, can draw, ndra, right? So it'll be like an N, the letter NDR, ndra, ndra, right? Now for the closed syllable or closed phonetic, it'll be judge. So it'll be a nasal sound that comes from the tip of the tongue behind the upper teeth gum, right? And it'll be, there's really no English equivalent word for this as well. So just try to bear with me on this one. But how you pronounce is judge, judge, right? So da judge, da judge. And that's how you pronounce this consonant. Now for number 19, this consonant is pronounced va, vav, va, vav. This consonant is pretty straightforward with a English sound, V. It has a buzzing sound with the lower lip touching the top teeth, right? So like v, v, va, right? Va, va, vav. So you hear this in the word victory, voice, valley, vested. Now for the closed syllable, it'll be vav, vav. The sound should come from the lower lip with the top teeth, right? It's the same thing. You'll hear this in the word, closed phonetic sound in the word love, have, give, improve. And that's how you pronounce the closed phonetic for the consonant va, vav, va, vav. Now on to number 20. This consonant is pronounced nza, nzadz, nza, nzadz. This one has a nasal sound. So it has a nasal sound and then proceeding with a Z sound. Nz, nz, right? Nz, nza, right? And it's a mix of like, I guess the two words and xylophone, and xylophone, or and zero, and za, right? Nz, nz, right? Nz. And that's how you pronounce the open phonetic sound for that, right? Now for the closed syllable, it'll be nzats, nzats. It'll be nza, nzats, nza, nzats. The nasal sound should come before the Z sound. It should be in front of the teeth as well. And you'll hear in like the word mix, right? But it has that nasal sound before. But then you'll hear in the word like mix, box, flex, fax, but with a nasal sound. And that's how you pronounce the closed phonetic sound for nza, nzadz, nza, nzadz. Now let's go on to the next one. So this consonant, number 21, this consonant is pronounced za, zats, za, zats. Now this consonant is pretty much similar to the one we just went through, za, zats, but this one does not have the nasal sound. It's strictly more closer to a Z sound in front of the teeth, right? So you'll hear this word like cats and right? Cats and dots and pets and. So you'll hear it in the TS on the cats or dots or pets, and then followed by the and or the A in the and, right? Tsa, tsa, right? Cats and, dots and, pets and. That's how you pronounce the open syllable for that. So for the closed syllable, it'll be tsats, tsats. You'll hear in the word like the ending sound to the word like dads or beds or wants or looks. Well, actually looks might be a little bit different. And that's how you'll pronounce the closed phonetic word for za, zats, za, zats. Now on to number 22, which is pronounced fa, fuff, fa, fuff. Now this one has an aspirated or breathy sound with the lower lip touching the top teeth, which is you'll hear in the word like father, foil, fire, or fence, right? Just like the English word, the English letter F, right? Fa. Now for the closed syllable, you'll hear it's pronounced the same way, but with it's more of an ending sound like towards the word like cliff, chief, or chef, or beef. So that's how you'll pronounce the closed and open the open and closed phonetic for fa, fuff, fa, fuff. Now on to number 23. This one, it's not the English R. So this one is specifically the English the Hmong R sound, but it's a little bit different. It's not a hard R. It's more like a softer R sound. And this is how it's pronounced: da, dot, da, dot. So it's kind of closer to a T sound, but it's not really T either. But it's an R sound, and the sound should be produced from the tip of your tongue behind the gum of the upper teeth. Da, 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 da. Right? But your teeth they're not touching each other. Your tongue should be right behind that da, 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 da. Right? Da, dot, da, dot. Right? So you're just gonna have to memorize how this consonant open syllable sounds. Okay. Now for the closed syllable, it'll be dot, dot, or da, dot. The sound should come from the same area as the open syllable, behind the teeth, behind the gum from the upper teeth. And you'll hear this in the closed phonetic sound like the word port, shirt, hurt, or like the word fart. Okay? And that's how you'll pronounce the closed phonetic sound and open phonetic sound for the consonant da, dot, da, dot. So on to number 24. This consonant is pronounced ka, kak, ka, kak. Now you'll see here that I put an asterisk sound here stating that is a voiceless ovular plosive sound, which is close to the Hebrew word or the Hebrew guttural sound for ka or qagh, right? So it's a throat sound. It's a guttural sound, right? It's an open mouth, no jaw movement. So it's ka, 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 kak, ka, kak, right? There's no equivalent English word that I know of that produces this sound, but it's more of a Hebrew sound. That you'll hear, not just Hebrew, but also like Arabic. I believe also a bit of French as well that has that guttural sound. But that's how you'll pronounce the open syllable, ka, ka. There is slightly a glottal stop, slightly, and you'll hear it like ka, kak, ka, kak. But there's a glottal stop and a guttural open sound, okay? That's how you'll pronounce the open phonetic or open syllable sound. Now for the closed syllable is kak, kak. The sound should come from the same area, open mouth, no jaw movement, and it's all just guttural. Now, like I said, there's really no English equivalent word that I know of, and it's more of like a Hebrew or Arabic or maybe even French sound. So you just kind of have to memorize how it sounds. It'll be kak, kak. So altogether, it'll be ka, kak, ka, kak, right? And that's how you'll pronounce that consonant, ka, kak. Now for week 3, we learned the middle 12 Nyiakeng phonetic sound and its English equivalent pronunciations. Now, this one does not have as much English phonetic because the more and more we go towards the end of the Nyiakeng consonants, it becomes more and more other foreign sounds that English does not really have, right? And so I hope this has been very helpful, very useful. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put in the comments down below. Also, as well, if you would like to have a copy of this specific PowerPoint with the audio recordings that comes along with it, it's linked down the description below as well. And with that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we'll see each other next time. Thank you.